Test. Afternoon. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. If you could just let me know in chat that you can actually hear me, that'd be appreciated. Yeah, Twitch can hear me. That's good. Thanks very much, Moon Fellow. I assume by that probably YouTube can probably hear me as well. Yeah, and YouTube can hear me. Thanks for that, Ollie. Just sort myself out here. Hello again, Ollie, Nova, Beauty Love Creative. We're doing a catch-up session from Sunday. I think we're about to get a few friends over on the Twitch side. Because a lot of the YouTube people, we know that you've seen me over on with Gabe in the last few minutes, but I've also been modding on a different channel over on Twitch, and they're just finishing up. And I think they may be coming here next. That's why it's all a bit rushed. I've probably forgotten a few things I need, so I will probably have to come and go. Let me just turn the camera around a bit so you can actually see me. Hello everyone. Got some ads coming up on Twitch, but we won't do anything until then. I just need to start water some plants while we're... That's the first priority in here, because everything's looking a bit droopy. Rocky's dead. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Where shall we start? Let's start with these. Yeah, everything looks like it needs watering because it's currently in the sunshine in the greenhouse. It's 35 degrees. But I've still got my coat on because it's a bit chilly in the wind outside. Beauty Love Creative saying how the back is. Well, that's the reason why I'm doing this today, because actually I can still feel it a little bit, but it's a lot better than it was on Sunday. It's not going to do anything too stupid, but it's a lot improved anyway. and because of that on Sunday we didn't really achieve very much on Sunday, and there's some stuff I have to really do before it all gets out of hand. There's lots of stuff that needs potting up or putting in pots, or it just needs sorting out really. And I can always what I'm trying to say, there's stuff I've forgotten already to bring out, but there you go, which has got to be done today as well. So I'd be doing this whether I was streaming or not. Just need to give everything in this greenhouse good water. Dave in Bangor, Maine. Good to see you. We're being raided on Twitch by Dem. I'll say hello to a few people. Over on YouTube. Hello, okie dokie, good to see you. Hello, hello everyone who's come over on the raid. I'm Bear. I'm one of Dem's friendly moderators. Thanks for the raid, Dem. That's a surprise, yes. Let me give you a shout out, because if I can't do that, so anyone who's from my channel who doesn't know Dem is really good woodworker, does wooden jewellery, and he's making a ukulele at the moment. Sorry, just dropped you on the floor. Sorry. Hopefully you can still hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know, but that seems a bit pointless saying that, doesn't it? I'll say a few hellos to people who've come in on the raid. D-Bomb's come in. Thanks for the 100 bits, D-Bomb. It's very generous. Igor Bass, welcome. Oh, Leo's appeared. That hasn't broken your watch streak, has it? That's this surprise stream. Can I put the background a bit lower? Okay. Oop, wrong way. Let me know if that's any better, Beauty of the Creative. Oh, the background music is the background music on. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, hang on. That's because I had it on yesterday for the bird stream. Oh yes, it's loud, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I don't think we need that, do we? That's a good spot. Thank you for that. And we'll turn that off. Transition that. Right, that should be gone. If it hasn't gone now, it'll be gone any second. Thanks for letting me know. It was just a bit of a rush to get set up there. And what have I done with that? Okay, yep, I know what I'm doing now. Thanks for that. Apologies for that music. That was a result of, we had that on yesterday while we were watching some blackbirds making a nest. Hello, Gigi. Good to see you. Yeah. Anyone who's new, yes, I'm Bear. You're in the greenhouse at the moment. We're generally in here on Sunday mornings. We're here last Sunday, but I've managed to hurt my back picking up a cable last Sunday, so I didn't really achieve very much. And as the back's improved, it's not fully right yet, but it's a lot better. So there's a lot of stuff that needs doing in here. The first thing I'm doing is watering everything, because everything is desperate for a drink in here. So we're going to spend some channel points from Twitch, and we're going to hydrate the plants. Yeah, good to see you, Dem. Thanks for the raid. I'll see you on your next stream. Yeah, Dem's making a ukulele at the moment. So, oh, everyone can hear me now, can they? Because I've turned the music off. Yeah, well, thanks, Nova. Yeah, well, I say anyone who's just coming in, I was in a bit of a rush to get going there because I know Dem wanted to raid out. So it's not quite as well organised as normally would be. I'm just out here filling up. There's a tap just down here. There's the water off the greenhouse goes into a water butt, and then I can just use that. It saves using tap water because we're on a water meter here. So any little bit we can save, that we can do. So I'm not going to. I can see something's just happened there. I was just about to pour water into this tray, which was directly above the laptop that we're running the stream off. I don't think that was a very good idea, really. So, a bit of common sense. I saw something come up there from Nova. Thanks very much for that, Nova. It's very generous of you. On YouTube, giving away 5 gift memberships. They've gone to Hanktown, Binford, NY31, Life on Two Wheels, and Yoking Moor. There's a lot of names you probably recognise there. It's always good when you see names that you recognise getting it. And with your super duper memberships, you get a few on YouTube. You get a few emotes and some occasional members updates. There are subs available on Twitch, and you get your ad-free viewing on my channel for that, and you get some emotes and so on. Leo's on a 25 stream streak, which is magnificent considering I keep trying to break it. Thanks for the lurk, Moonwind. Just trying to see what else needs. Everything needs watering in here. It's not the most exciting start, but it has to be done. Yeah, so for either side, we're actually dual streaming YouTube and Twitch at the moment. A lot of you already know this, but we've got some new people come in, so we're predominantly a YouTube channel, but we live stream on Twitch and YouTube. We're also available on most of the other platforms of one kind or another. There's been a few developments over last week. We've also got in the comments somewhere, I don't know if I've put them in on this, but you'll start to see Amazon links come up for some of the things that we use in the stream to make it easier. If I'm talking about something, you can find it. We've also got we've also started to set up a couple of merch shops as well. The mug was up there, but I'll go and get that in a bit. Thanks for checking in, land-based angler. So the easiest way to find our merch shops is that you'll find the links in various places, and there'll be some postings about it. they only went live yesterday. The easiest place, if you go to the website, which is just bearandthegarden.com, you'll find a store button there, and then that gives you the 2 links to our 2 different websites. There's a website that's probably better for the UK and British viewers, and there's a website that caters probably better for the US Canadian viewers, but they cover both areas anyway, so if you order from one, it still gets delivered. So we do the design and they do everything else for us, so you can have a look. There's not a lot on there at the moment, but we'll add bits and pieces over time. So you will see sort of bits and pieces pop up like that, so that's what all that's about. I wasn't going to do it, but some people have asked for certain things, so it's the easiest way, rather than having to deal with everything yourself by shipping everything yourself and sourcing it. You can outsource a lot of the work and just do the design of it. Just watering some geraniums at the moment. What else needs? There's an awful lot of needs watering in here. Just keeping an eye on the message. Hello Victoria, if I hadn't said hello to you. Hello Mary as well. We're just watering stuff before I get started. And it's one of the reasons why I want to start to get some of these plants actually in bigger pots, because they've all got small sort of root bases at the moment in these starter trays, and consequently they dry out ever so quickly. Oh, that's not me falling over, by the way, it's the wind blowing something over. They dry out so quickly. At the moment, I'm guessing there are a couple of pots of water. Yeah, because they dry out so quickly with the small sort of root balls on them. It's better to try to get them into a bigger pot where they've sort of a bit more controlled. And to be honest, the chances of getting frost now are pretty slim, so anything we can pot up we can just stick outside. And it's also clear space in the greenhouse, because we want to start thinking about bringing some of the veg in here, like the tomatoes and so on. Yeah, everything's looking a bit sorry for itself really in here. Hopefully it'll pick up. Might water those outside. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, for the fuchsias. Well, I know they need watering, because you can feel how light the trays are. They can go there. So, right, I think that'll do for the time being. I'll probably have to water everything again once we're finished, but right. even though that's gardening, that's not really gardening. So just have a quick look, see if anyone's got any. Looks like a beautiful day. Yeah, I don't know what temperatures it's outside. It's probably 18, 19 outside. There's a bit of a breeze, hence the coat. Because in the shade and in the breeze, it's a little bit chilly. It is currently 35.5 in the greenhouse in the sun. So hopefully nothing overheats. And that's why you can see stuff wilts pretty quickly. So you can, just on those are the baby sunflowers you can see have wilted just this morning from being in here. But now they've got a bit of water, they'll just recover, give it an hour or so. Hello Chris, good to see you. So what have I got to do today? Basically I want to finish off doing some pots. This coming weekend we'll start on hanging baskets and troughs, but I want to do some of the bigger pots outside. So let's clear a bit of space. I need that one. There's nothing happened on the sunflowers yet that we sowed on Sunday. I'll put them outside as well. So we've got a number of pots to do. We've got a new clematis that's going to go in one of the pots. We've also got some, well, we'll see if anyone knows what these are. Any idea? We'll see how good a gardeners we've trained you to be yet. We'll see if anyone knows. Geranium? No, it's not a geranium. I'll just go and get the pots I want to do just here. We'll see if anyone else has come up with the idea of what they are yet. Strawberries, correct? Yes. Yeah, Christian and GG. Yeah, they're strawberries. They're giant strawberries, these ones. So these will produce strawberries probably about, where they reckon about a couple of inches in size. So they're big strawberries. You can, strawberries, you can reproduce the plants each year because they come off on what get called runners, which are basically, I suppose the simplest way to describe it is like a little vine that comes off. You can pin those into the ground and you get another plant out. You get several plants out of each. That's how they generally divide those. They tend to do it by seed. But, so I've got those to plant up. I'm going to plant those up in some small trays and then they're going to sit along a little fence in the sun at the front. I've got some bigger tubs here to put the clematis in and some of the extra plants we didn't use for the new flower bed. I've also got some red onions and some garlic to plant today. Hello Gus. So I want to get those in today, mainly because they're stinking out the house. No purple cow jokes yet. We're not that sort of channel, Gus. we're just slightly different from Dollar's streams. Beautiful day. Yeah, well, if you want to know what the weather is, if you put in, there's two ways to do it. If you put in exclamation weather and then York is the nearest place here, or there's a custom one on here which is exclamation bear weather, all one word. So the weather function works for anywhere. So it's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. I think dollars streams are a one-off, really, very different. While you're trying to work out how to work the weather command, I'm just going to put you there for a sec. I'm just going to go and get the onions and the garlic, and I think while I'm there, I'm going to get a bottle of water because I need hydrating as well. So if you could just hold the fort for a minute. Right, we're back there in the gifts. I'm sure if I put the microphone back on, I'll just have a slurp of water. Don't you need to hear me slurping? Yeah, that's good. Put the glasses on so I can see what you're doing. Thanks for the 5-stream streak, hand-based angler. Oh, sorry. Hopefully you heard me saying thanks for the 5-stream streak. Yep. So oh, I see you managed to work out the weather command. Yep. Yeah. Well, if we'll just see what the temperature is actually here. I'll use my. Yeah, so it's 16.2. So it's not that warm, but it's really warm in the sun. So yeah, anyone who didn't see it on, I was talking a few minutes ago about I had to make some merch for some family who wanted some bits and pieces. So I was looking where to make it, and then some other people have said they're interested, but you don't have to be. But that was our first item that we've done. Bear in the Garden mug, and it's got a bear claw on the back. So and say we've done some other bits and pieces, and we'll add as and when it's interest. But if anyone's interested in things like that, there should be links, or there will be in the descriptions, etc., etc. But the easiest way is to go to our website. and then you'll find the store button on there, and then we've actually got 2 stores, and they're both going to have sort of similar sort of things on them, but one's probably better geared for UK and European viewers, and the other one is probably better for US and Canadian viewers, just because of the shipping costs. So if you do want anything, go on there, have a look at, see what there is, and see what the pricing is, and see what the shipping costs are and the times, because one company ships from the UK around the world, and the other one ships from multiple locations depending what the item is from around the world. So it's personal choice really, but there will be updates on that anyway. But there, if in doubt, you find the website in the description. It's not very difficult not to find, but if I'll put it in the chat anyway, because sometimes I forget to say about the web. In fact, it's one of these things that you forget about to update. But I've done a bit of work on it in the last week or so. Hopefully that pulls it up on both. Yep. So it's not very difficult to find. That'll have the 2 links for the 2 shops, so you can have a look anyway. All I do is the design on that, and they handle everything else, from the ordering, the payments, the shipping, the customer service, everything else. And then they basically pay the creator a commission for each item, which is pretty minimal, I have to say. We're not in it to make a fortune. We're just starting that anyway, but the reason for that is that we wanted to do it for some friends and family. What else have we got that I brought out? So one of the things we're doing today, I've got some, I don't know if you can see that, I've got some garlic to plant, and some red onions, which will go in the same pot. So and because again, anyone who doesn't know, you just read the instructions on the back. I'm going to plant these together anyway. It talks about giving it lots of spacing, but I'm not bothered in that really. It doesn't help that the seller sticks a great big label across your planting instructions, but I know what I'm doing in those anyway. So we're going to plant those in some. This is the other thing I use. I've actually, sorry for the noise. I use a range of pots, basically recycle as much. But what I've used in recent times are what are basically fabric pots. Red onions are sweeter, yeah, and I don't know what people's views are, but white onions okay, but I prefer red onions really. So it's just a fabric pot, it's got little handles on it. It's not particularly deep, that's about a foot deep, but we don't need any more than that. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it has been neglected a bit, the website, but we do little bit by little bit. You're probably, if you've just been on the website, Chris, you're probably only about the 4th person that's ever been there, if you exclude me. So, thanks for lurking, Igor. But the one advantage of the website is if you want to find us anywhere else, it's got all the links for everything else on it as well. And we hopefully will post more on there. But it's a good idea. That's a lot of work. So all I'm going to do in these, I'm going to probably put about 8 or 9 inches of soil of compost in that. I'm not going to fill them up, mainly because it's a waste of compost. And then we're going to put the onions and the garlic in there. The strawberries are going to go into those pots, which are the same ones that we used for some of the wall baskets. I've got some left over. We've got 5, but we probably only need a couple of those. So the strawberries will go in those. So we do those, and then the other thing is I've got some bigger troughs, pots, that we're going to put the things like the clematis and some of the roses we've got out there, and some of the perennial plants that we didn't use in the new flower bed. I'll put some summer bulbs in those as well. But we'll start off with, well, I'll ask chat, what do you want to see first? Do you want to see the onions and garlic, or do you want to see the strawberries? We'll see what the consensus is as to which one we're going to start with. And anyone who got a plant label on Sunday, haven't done that yet, they're still there. Oh, congratulations on 200, Chris. Yeah, it's a slow old process. Yeah. Well, welcome to the channel, Netstar. Netstar, new to the channel. Quite like to see the strawberries done first. Beauty Love, Beauty Love Creative and Gigi. Quite like to see the strawberries done first. Okay. What I'll do at the end of this, when I get back in and do all the description and the gobbledygook, I'll put a link to the strawberries so you can actually see what variety it is, because to be honest, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think it's something called Colossus or something. I don't know if that actually exists, so I don't know why Colossus comes into my head. Or is that the... No, that's not what those are called, the onions or the... So I think they're Colossus. I think they're strawberry Colossus. I'll put a link in later, so if you want to know, you'll be able to go in the description, either Twitch or YouTube, and you'll be able to find the link there. So yeah, anyone over on YouTube who doesn't know that Chris has got a channel, yeah, he's putting up bike rides now. So keep going, Chris. It's a slow process, but the next viewers could be the one that starts the daisy chain of viewers. So, because when I started, I never thought I only thought I might get, if I thought get to 10 or 12, I thought that would be pretty good. But then it sort of snowballs, and it's doing, certainly across the various platforms, it's doing pretty well at the moment. So, but the only thing is, the longer you do it, the more complicated it gets. So what we're doing first, we're doing strawberries, aren't we? We get a second one. So probably only need 2 for these. Now I think generally you'd have you'd space them quite wide. I don't know if you can actually see because of the... Hang on, let me drop you down a bit. You're getting quite hot there in the sun. Yeah. Try that. Hopefully you can. Hopefully you can see that. I think you could plant them fairly well apart. I mean, this is the problem with all this. They say on the instructions, or you plant 6 inches apart or whatever. but I always plant tighter because you can always take something out anyway. Hello, orange. Yeah, sorry, orange. It's not orange, it's strawberry. So I think we've got 10. We've got 10 in there. 10. Oh, have we got 5? Oh no, we've got 12. So we'll do 6. We'll do 6 a tray. In here, I'm going to put some fresh compost in these, mainly because the strawberries are going to be pretty hungry, and the compost I use has got some fertiliser in it. I'm also going to add some, if I can bend it in, let's go down slow. I'm also going to add some moisture control stuff. This is Miracle Grow stuff, but you can get all sorts here. This basically looks like if everyone's made wallpaper paste from the granules. That's basically what it looks like, and basically you shove that into the compost, and when you fill it and when you water it, it absorbs water and then releases it slowly. So I'm going to put some of that in with the compost as well. The compost has already got slow release fertiliser in it, so we'll do that. In the bigger pots that we'll do later, we'll probably use some used compost in the bottom there because it doesn't really need it. They're perennial plants, they can cope. So we'll get rid of a lot of the old compost in there. But for this and the onions and the garlic that will be hungry for food, we'll use some good stuff for them. It'd be like having guests for dinner. You always, it's the chef's privilege is to have all the good stuff, isn't it? It's that one, I think. Yeah. Just trying to work out which compost is which. Yeah, this is the good compost I want to use. Hopefully you can see it. It's a bit difficult because it's so bright, and I'm trying to keep you in the shade so you don't overheat. So this is really, really fine compost. You can see how fine that is. Well, actually you probably can't because it's so dark. Hang on. If we go up there in the sunlight and back this way a bit. There you go. And you kind of, that's really, really fine. That's really, really fine stuff, that is. Yeah. So it's really fine stuff. Some of the other compost I've got is, well, it's rubbish basically. Do farms sell manure for fertilising? Yeah, they do. They do round here. It's the only thing about buying stuff farms, you want it well rotted. You don't want fresh manure because it'll burn your plants. So you want well rotted manure. Just being careful what I'm doing. Oh, have you gained about 15 subscribers there, Chris? We all work as creators. Well, most of us work on small channels. We try to help each other out, so that's good. Rather than hold the bag, it would be sensible to take the trough to the bag, wouldn't it? So we're just putting the compost in there. God, there's a strong smell of garlic in here now. Whew. So I'm not going to fill them to the top. I'm going to leave about an inch to the top. Probably a bit more there. One more handful. I'll open the door again, get some air in. There is a window directly above you as well. There's an ad break. Just started on Twitch. Thanks to anyone who's still watching on Twitch who's got the sub. It's appreciated. We'll give it a minute for the ads to finish on Twitch. Hello, Lone. Good to see you. But it's good to see you getting a few more subs, Chris. And if you ever get stuck on something, all the contact details are on all the things, or you can contact me through one of the various platforms or whatever. If you get stuck on something or just want a bit of advice, I'm not the expert on everything, but I've been doing the YouTube stuff for about 5 years now as a channel, and I am a small channel, so well, I haven't been through. For Chris asking, I haven't been through Gilroy in California, and probably that's not surprising being from the UK. I've been to California though. I wouldn't even know where Gilroy is in California. I've just done I've done LA and San Francisco. But, I think we're out the ads. Yeah, Lone, we're doing some strawberries. We're just catching up on Friday. So Lone likes a challenge. We'll see how awake he is, because he was up. He was still up watching stuff at about a ridiculous hour in the morning when I saw him there. But I was getting up, and I think he was still awake. We're doing strawberries. I think these are called Colossus. Lone, if you can find a strawberry called Colossus, that's what they are. If you can't find a strawberry that's called Colossus, they're not Colossus. So all I'm going to do, I was going to, no one's reminded me, have you? What did I forget to put in? I forgot to put our water retaining stuff in, which I can't find now. Well, it's behind me. Like any good pantomime, it's behind you. That's for the UK viewers. Gloves are a pain when you're trying to open these things, but and again, when I use any sort of compost, I would tend to wear gloves, because you never quite know what's been in it. Yeah. If you're going to do strawberries, can go in virtually anything basically, but they will need a bit of water. I say I use. You find it's just moisture control. It's water. It's, as I say, it looks a bit like wallpaper paste granules. Let's come up in the sun so you can see that. So that actually helps. It's basically granules which you just mix in with the compost. And this compost has already got slow release fertiliser in, and probably for strawberries as well, I'd do that. So what I want to do is get, not necessarily those the moisture control stuff at the top. You wanted to get it down somewhere where the roots are going to be. So ideally, I would have put half filled these, then put the retaining stuff in, and then put some more compost on. But as I forgot, I'm just going to have to dig a hole mix it in, and then just generally mix it up. I think if you want to be technical, there are the instructions as always on the back of this, but I don't know. And what the advantage of that is that generally if you water these once a day, there'll be enough water in there retained in that gel that can be released back to the roots as the day goes on. So if you can't water your plants or keep an eye on them all day, any sort of plant that's in a basket, I use the same stuff on baskets and troughs as well. In fact, if I find a pot, we can put a bit in and we can see what happens to it. I'm not going to put it in a new branded mug. That would be a bit. Let's find a. This is when you need a pot that hasn't got a hole in the bottom, which is not the easiest thing in a greenhouse for the pots for plants. Cool. It's a bit windy. Oh, oh yeah, I know what we can use. We'll just use a little tray. We've got some water. It's a long way to get the water there. I don't know who put those big pots there. Oh, so there is Colossus. Well, hey, how about that then? My memory hasn't failed me. Gerard, good to see you. So this isn't exactly precise, it's just the top off a proper little propagator. I'm just going to put some water in it. Don't need a lot. And then I'm just going to drop a few grains of this and you can see what happens to this. This is a scientific experiment. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see this. It takes a little bit of time. Yeah, you can start to see the white things are the granules, but they're starting to swell up now as they absorb the water. So if we leave that for a little while, that should turn into what resembles wallpaper paste. In fact, it's already getting there now. So yeah, so we're just going to take the strawberries, dig a hole with your fingers, put it in there. If you can see that, I've actually put them about an inch from the top, because what I want them to do is grow up and then dangle over the side. And then when they go over the side, the strawberries can then hang down and it keeps them out of the soil. What you can do if you're doing these in the ground, you can actually get like little felt pads that go around the top of the strawberry. So any strawberries that sit there aren't in contact with the ground. Just stops a lot of rot in your strawberries. And it's not rocket science, this. And these strawberries here, I got these mail order, so they came in a box in the post. Get them at the garden centre. Probably at the garden centre you'll find they'll sell them in a pot, and they'll probably charge you about 4 times the price. But you'll still be able to get them now. Probably get them for next month or so in that sort of size. So I'm just digging the hole, putting them in, and then just firming around the top. They'll get firmed in a bit more anyway when you water it all. And they'll like sunshine as well, so they'll like where they're going. But to say, I'm putting them in troughs. You can put them in buckets. You can put them. You see strawberry hangers where they're like a shoe hanger thing. If you think you see in the back of a door of a closet, it's like that. You have little pockets of soil, and then you can put them in there, and the strawberries hang down. So tough little plants. And then they get these runners that come off as the year goes on. And if you put them into the just pin them into the soil next to it, you'll get some new plants as well. So they're very easy to propagate as well. Hello, Sydney. So I mean, you can see just on those how good those roots are on there. Oh, we'll come back up to the sun. We've got really good root balls on those. They'll take off in no time at all. And there's so many different varieties of strawberry as well. So they're also a good plant if you've got summer baskets and troughs. They're quite a good plant because you can plant them in amongst sort of the flowers, and you get your crops in amongst your flowers. Companion planting, that's called. Thanks for subscribing for another month, Sydney. You could possibly even try, if you can find something, you could possibly even try it on a sunny windowsill. Probably not big strawberries like this sort of take a lot of food, but a lot of feeding and so on. But if you could find something small, perhaps even alpine type strawberries, you could possibly even do those on your windowsill if you've got a sunny windowsill. Just have a pot, and you won't get a huge amount of strawberries, but it's be a bit of fun. Get some nice little white flowers, and so that's as simple as that. I should really put a label on that, shouldn't I? Or are we going to remember what the hell that is? Yeah, I think we should really put a label on it. Except I haven't got me label writing stuff here. Right, everyone remember what they are. I'll come back and test you in 6 months' time. Afternoon, Dure. Yeah, Dure on Twitch is just saying they garden in containers, radishes in containers, peppers which haven't sprouted yet. Basically, you can grow virtually anything in troughs. If you've got a little balcony, you can do lots of stuff. The only advice I would do is grow stuff that you actually like to eat and is a little bit different. So, yep, so that's, yeah, so you've got the 6 strawberries in that one, so we've got 2 trays of that. That'll go out there. Sensible piece of advice, don't water them in your greenhouse. Firstly, you get water everywhere, but if you're going to then move them, they're going to be heavier. So put them where you're going to put them, then water them. Because at the moment they don't weigh anything because the compost is dry. So we'll put those there. We'll go on. I'm going to do a couple of these fabric bags with onions and garlic in it. It's going to be a very similar process to we've done with the strawberries. I'll I'm not going to fill them up fully. So what I'm going to do is fill them up. I'll move them with the handles, and then probably what I'll just do is turn down the collars so they get more light. I'll say, if you're looking at the instructions, you should be planting a lot of these onions and garlic with tons and tons of space. But I'm not going for prize-winning onions or garlic. I'm going for sort of one onion at a size at a time. So, and I'll say I'll put. If you want to have a closer look at what these are, if I remember when I do the descriptions at the end, after the stream ends, I'll put links in for these so you can actually see what they are. But we've got a garlic pink Germidor and onions red Baron. I like the red onions. Thanks for the follow. Just trying to create more plants in a confined area with a trough planter. I'm not sure about that. The only thing about doing it in a trough, plants can get compacted. Something on the strawberries, they won't be bothered. They'll just grow up and over the sides. As long as there's enough room for the roots to spread, that's fine, really. But as anyone knows here, we're not sort of classically trained on gardening. We're just a gardener who likes to do stuff, so we stick it in and see what happens. And if it works, it's brilliant. If it doesn't work, well, we just ignore that and move on to the next thing. Before we move on to the next thing, I'll show you let's find a stick. A stick-like object, like a stick. We did the water retaining gel. If you can see that there now, in fact, there you go. And it is like jelly, basically. So that's what the water aids in it. So what happens is when you have that in the soil, when you water your trough or pot, that expands to that, and then over time, as the plants need it, it will draw the liquid out of that, and then go back to its sort of flat shape. Whoever came up, I don't know who came up with the idea, but it is very similar to wallpaper paste. If you've ever made wallpaper paste, so in fact that can go in the pots even though it's wet. That's fine to go in. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm not going to use my really good compost on this, because the onions and garlic aren't quite as food hungry as they're not so food hungry as the strawberries. Just going to use that pot as a little table, considering my table out is absolutely jam-packed of stuff. So fabric bag. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, red onions are no different from growing white onions. The only thing to say is that, I'll show you when we get them out. If you buy onions, you can buy them as onion seed. I don't bother with that, it takes ages. So these are what are called onion sets. They're basically mini onions already. And I always buy onion sets now. That's why it says onion sets on the label. I'll show you. But again, loads and loads of varieties. Follow the instructions. And even if you don't follow the instructions, you can't cover wood. In fact, I've got some red onions out here in the veg patch, which are, well, they were grown last year, but they weren't ready last year. But they're getting there now. So they've been in all winter. So. So how deep's that? Need a little bit more in there. I mean, we were talking about compost before, the good compost compared to the old stuff. The good compost that we just used in this sort of cruddy old. This is just full of roots and sticks, and this is really garden recycling. And in reality, it's sort of rubbish, but it'll do. So I remember to put some of the moisture control in there. Get another bag. The back is a lot better. You still feel it a little bit, but it's a lot better. The previous compost we used for the strawberries got about 6 months of slow release compost in it. These have got about 2 months in them. So I forgot to bring anything down to cut the compost bags, so just use a stick and brute force. Sorry if I'm missing any comments. If there's anything vital alone, let me know. So I'm just going to top this one up here. I'm not going to try to lift the bag up into that. And just out of context, this is a, I don't know, 50-litre bag of compost. And in the UK, that's about £7. So I used to make my own compost years ago. Had sort of wooden compost bins, and it was okay. It wasn't ever overly successful. The biggest problem was I had more luck breeding rats in them than actually making compost. So we got rid of those. Those were the days before the cats. Even though the cats, I'm not sure they'll be that fussed about some rats now. So I've about half filled that, and I'm just going to, just out of neatness so I can see what's happening in them, I'm just going to turn down the collars. Identical to if you've got a shirt. So turn down the collar. So that's what we've got. Sorry about the shadows in here. So I'm just going to firm that down a bit, and then we're going to be artistic. Good to see you, D. Michael. So I'm going to be artistic, and we're going to put a garlic in the middle and all the onions around the outside. So yeah, there's a onion that we're going to plant in. It's got a flat bottom. And take some of the leaves off. I would sniff that, but it's very, very strong. So then inside there, it's got the individual cloves of garlic, and that will multiply into a bigger ball with some bigger cloves. Basically, it's a small garlic. That's very strong, that is. And then I'm just going to do a load of red onions. So these are red onion sets. So they basically look like baby onions. I'm trying to get in the sunshine for you so you can see. Oh, hang on, it's probably better across there. Yeah, still not brilliant. Basically, and that's a couple of centimetres tall. It's got a flat bottom, pointy top, so the flat bottom goes down, and just push them. I'm just pushing them into the top of the surface. I'm going to top dress them anyway, just put a bit of compost over the top. So this is a bag of 50. So I'm going to do about half a bag. This is far too dense, really, if you were doing this in a veg patch, but so I'm not going for prize-winning onions. So we'll just go around in a big circle. And even with something like this, because the onions and the garlic are going to grow quite sort of spiky and tall, so you could actually put other things. You could put some flowers in here to fill in the lower part of it. See, some of these have already started to sprout. That one's already started to sprout, so you don't want to leave these much longer. Yep, so that's in there. If I pick you up, hopefully you don't disconnect on me. And then if I tip you up as well, wrong way, and you can see inside what we've done. Yeah, so we've got the garlic in the centre, and then just the onions randomly round the outside. Go back on there for you. Now you're pointing down at the floor, so you need to come back up a bit. Yeah. Thanks for dropping in, Dee. Yeah, nicely spaced. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect symmetry, that is. I don't think you did, you just chuck them in. It should really be the motto of the channel, really. Chuck them in and see what happens. So I'm just going to get a couple of handfuls of compost. Just going to, they don't need a lot over these, but it'll just sort of keep them firm while we're shifting the bag around. If nothing else, it gets rid of the really strong garlic smell out of the house. So that's that one done. Again, water it afterwards. Just makes it lighter. We'll do the second one now. Yep, correct, Christian. Basically, they are biennial from seed. So you'd sow them this year, and then you'd be harvesting next year. The a stick fell off there. Yeah, and that's basically what the onion sets are. They've been grown for roughly a year, then stopped over the winter, and then you can replant them and they'll grow again. I think you can tell this isn't very good compost because you you get a bit out and it's like a brick. You say it's not very good compost, but it is actually. It's one of the better brands. I mean, really, I mean, basically they don't rot it down fully. That's why it's got all these bits of stick and rubbish in it, and then they stuck it up on pallets for months. And it all gets compressed again. And just to give you a comparison, this bag here, which I think is rubbish, is £7 a bag. The bag we use for the strawberries is about I think it's about £18 a bag. So it's almost 3 times the price. But if I could afford it, I'd go for that all the time. The good stuff is what I use for the baskets as well, because you just don't get the same result with anything else. Oh, you're okay there, chatting away. I need to put some of the gel in here as well. How much is that? It's not far off. I think that'll do for the time being. Yeah. What is that? That is a... Is that a bee or a wasp? Go on, out the window. Out the window. Yep, it's gone. Whatever it was. Yeah, I'm about to say, Andy's saying that better use the good stuff. If you can afford, it's always better to use the better compost. So the hanging baskets, because they're really hungry for food. It's night and day. It is really the quality. A couple of years ago, I tried some different composts, some good standard compost, but never got the same results. So that's just the water retaining gel going into there. I'm just going to mix it in. Yeah, I think everyone's going to need watering in here again before I finish today. So I'm just folding over the edges. You could put a lot more compost in these, but they don't. Onions and garlic have relatively small, not small, but short roots, so they don't need a great deal of depth. Thanks for lurking, spray gun. Welcome to the channel. So we'll do exactly what we did before. We'll put the garlic. Oh no, those are the onions. We'll put the garlic in the centre. This garlic has started to sprout already. see that? You can see it started to sprout from the top. That's probably the one that smell is creating most of the smell actually. So I'll just put that in. And then we'll do the red onions. Red onions. So we'll do the technical approach. We'll just dump the bag in there and then we'll just randomly spread them around. There's something else in this greenhouse now as well. I can hear it. Now that's a wasp. What is the purpose of wasps, if anyone can tell me? I know there is, sort of. It's gone now anyway. But apart from to irritate people, I don't quite know what the purpose of wasps is. So we're just going to randomly spread these red onions around. And we found a bit of compost that's like a brick. So I'd have been doing this afternoon anyway. So. But it's what I would have been doing Sunday if I hadn't tweaked me back. So I'm starting to feel me back a little bit now, but we haven't got that much. We've got the 2 troughs out there to do, which we'll do outside. So yeah, so basically they're just in there, garlic in the centre, and then around the outsides all the. Thanks for dropping in, land-based angler. Yeah, go do your shopping, D. Michael. See you later. Wasps help with fig propagation. Okay. Well, I don't like figs either, so it's not exactly a glowing reference for them, is it? You could imagine a wasp going for a job interview, and they said, "What are you really good at?" "I'm good at propagating or helping in the production of figs." So all I'm doing is putting a little bit of compost over the top of these, just to, they don't really need it, but just to firm them in slightly, hold them in place while they settle. Yep, so that's another one. Stick that outside and then water that later. Eek. And then just have a quick rid of the chats. I'm going to there's an ad break going on Twitch, so I'm going to just have rid of the chats and have a slurp of some liquid. There's a bit of shade starting to come around on there. So. Just to stretch me back for a little bit. How's the back? It's a lot better lying, thanks. I think I got away with it I was pretty lucky, really. So what was that, Sunday to Wednesday? So that's what, 4 days. That's really lucky. When I've had back problems before, it's been for months. So I've just got to be careful over the next couple of weeks, really. Not do anything too stupid. Got 20 odd seconds left on the Twitch ads. How long have we been going for? An hour and a half now. Do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, Twitch's ads should be over. Apologise if you're getting YouTube ads. I've got no control over that on the live chat. So thanks for following. Super better. Anyone who's come in recently, I'll even move the camera up a bit. Yeah. Yes, and I've still managed to cut my head off there. Bend down a bit. Hello. Anyone who's come in, yes, this is the Bear and the Garden channel. We predominantly a YouTube channel, but we live stream on Twitch and YouTube. We generally stream on a Sunday morning, lunchtime, but we do ad hoc bonus streams as and when, which this is one of them. You're currently in the greenhouse, and we are in northern England, in Yorkshire. Yeah, compared to what it could have been, I was pretty lucky, really. Oh yeah, for anyone who wasn't here Sunday, that's Wiggy the acorn. If you remember us planting Wiggy the acorn, what was that, about 2 months ago? Yeah. So yeah, so anyone that's new, yeah, so predominantly YouTube channel, we post every day on YouTube, and then every day on YouTube, most days on all the other platforms, good, bad, indifferent. Live stream, YouTube, Twitch. You'll find generally the streaming times, it'll always be Sunday, but then there'll be other ones like today. If you go via the website, you'll find the link to our 2 merch stores that we've just started up and running in the last few days. If you're interested in really classy stuff like mugs, there's a couple of t-shirts on there now, but they'll be developed over time. But it's really because I had to make stuff for family. Thanks, Chris, for coming over onto Twitch. Welcome, Kier or Kaya, and then 247365. Yes, that's the acorn. When we emptied out a load of baskets earlier in the year to save some plants, we found an acorn that the squirrel had put in there. We've not got any oak trees around here, very near to us, so we assume it's the squirrels put it in there, and we saved it and we planted it, and we're getting an oak tree. That's the reason for it. So what we're going to do now, we'll do a tub with some of the, I want to put the clematis in, and then some of the plants we got outside. I'm not going to put the tub on here because otherwise we'll not be able to shift it down. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to find something to sit on outside, or I'll tell you what, I'll be really generous for you. If you sit there and chat to yourselves for a minute, I'll go and get you a tripod, and then we'll put you safely somewhere so you don't fall off the chair. come back. Yes, and guess what? There is a tripod inside, but I walked all the way there and then realised what's in the greenhouse. A tripod. It's not my good tripod, but I'm sure you won't mind being on a second-rate tripod. I'm just trying to work out which way to face you. Something like that will probably be okay. It is quite gusty out here. I think it should be okay. Oh, thanks for dropping in, Gerard. So, try not to disconnect you in this process. If you happen to disappear for a minute, it's because I've stood on the cable or something. Okay. I'll do there. Just put you on the tripod. That doesn't look too bad. What's that look like from? Ah, that's fine. Do you have birds that visit your garden? Yeah, we do. We ran a short stream yesterday of, in fact on Twitch you'll find a clip of some blackbirds nesting in the hedge yesterday. They've just started to build a nest in there. But yeah, we have got cats here, so a lot of the birds don't like to land for obvious reasons, but oh, that's what did me back in on Sunday, picking up the cable. I'm just moving the cable out, so because we're running in webcam mode here, which is what the cable's for. So at least I won't trip over. So you're over here, chat's over here, so I will have to come and go a little bit. Yeah, there's a clip. If you go into the channel and then look under clips, it was done yesterday, so you can be able to find it. Just seeing if there's anything else. Right, let's do this before I lose enthusiasm. I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do this one first. This is going to be the clematis, because this is going to get quite tall, and it's going to be about the right size. So we'll start with pot. This one. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got it's already got holes in the bottom, so I don't need to drill holes for drainage. You could put a stone or something in there, or a brick. I'm probably not going to bother because there'll be a lot of soil in that. Now what I'm going to do with this is I could use the good compost on that, but why bother when we have lots of the hanging baskets from last year. Some of the ones we never got around to doing, it's still got some plants in, which we can take out that are still flowering. Not flowering, but still growing. So that's a fuchsia. In fact, it's actually got I don't know if you'd be able to see that. It's actually got a flower on there. So we'll save that. That can go in one of these tubs. It's got some other straggly plants that are still alive, but to be honest, they're going to do much. Possibly. See if we can get that root ball out of that. So that's a possibility. But otherwise, all that's basically compost. So I'm just going to use that at the bottom, because that's still got a bit of feed from last year. So we got a second one of those. It's just good use of recycling. There's lots of stuff off here that can go in the recycling bin. But in fact, there's a plant there. That's a gazania, which we can take out. Because we need these baskets anyway for again. So yeah, it's a plant we've saved. This compost is perfectly good. It's still got plenty of, I can actually see it's got plenty of controlled release fertiliser in it already. That's how I filled the pot with recycled compost. Just come back in. Do I grow any conifers? No. Hate the things. When I first moved to this house, there was 2 conifers here, and they both chopped down within about a week, because this isn't a huge garden and they just get far too big. So no, can't stand them. If you've got a huge garden, fine, but even if you buy a dwarf conifer, they can end up being quite big. So there is one little conifer in a pot behind the camera, but that's why it's in a pot, because that will restrict how big it grows, and that's not, even if you planted that on the ground, that's only going to grow sort of shoulder height, but it's not going to do much in the pot anyway. So and so we've done that. So put that in there. I want to put some ordinary compost on the top. Yeah, I can manage this now. And then I'm going to try to get this to about an inch or so from the top. In fact, actually, I'm going to stop for a sec, because I've just had a good thought about this one. So that's about, yeah, probably another couple of inches to go on that. What I have got, which I could put in there, is the garden this bigger than my previous garden. No, I think the previous garden was marginally bigger, so it's a different sort of layout. But never really had a lot of thought about it really. No, it's comparable. It's just different. Hello, Karen, over on YouTube. There's a question over on Twitch. How did I learn to do all this? As you can probably see, age. I'm a weather-beaten gardener. I'm not trained in it. The vast majority of people who've known me for a long time through various places know that my background is science. I'm a physicist, so this has always been my sort of weekend release. But I work for myself now, so I have a bit more time during the week to do this sort of stuff. So it's just experience. You pick up bits and pieces. I don't know everything. Principle of this is you stick it in the soil, see if it grows, and if it works, you're a genius. So what I'm going to do in this, I'm going to put this clematis in the middle and some other bits and pieces around the outside, because the clematis is obviously going to grow up. But if you remember a few weeks ago we had some bulbs, some of flowering bulbs, so we've still got a load of those. So I'm going to chuck some of these in. So we've got gladioli, iris, oxalis amongst them, and what I'm going to do. This is what I do with the spring bulbs. You can't see this, but they generally, when you buy, this is a mixed pack of bulbs. This is. It comes in separate packets, and what I'm going to do is literally empty them all out into one container, mix them up, and then you get a random. So if you're trying to do, like if you're doing daffodils and tulips and so on, and you want a random pattern, don't plant all your daffodils in one go, then your tulips, because without doubt you'll end up with a pretty standardised pattern. So what I tend to do is I chuck them all in a box or a bag, and then you sort of get a lucky dip as to what comes out. And yes, they all have different planting depths and so on, but I've found over the years the difference between, say, like planting a tulip or a daffodil is pretty minimal. So just chuck it in there. Thanks for following anyway. I don't know how would I call you? Is it Kaya? Kier? So yeah. So I've chucked them all in the bag they came in. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, I can't really see what you can see. In there, it's just a random selection of bulbs. So I'm just going to put my hand in. I'm just going to put them around the edge because I know that the clematis is going to go in the middle. I will try to stand some of the bigger ones up, but most bulbs try to right themselves anyway, so. Then what I mean is the clematis will grow up and you'll have stuff around the outside. Right, clematis. Clematis next. Assuming that one of my mods is still here. Yeah, it looks like Lone's probably still here. This is Clematis nubia, which is Nubia. N for nut, U for uniform, B for Bertie, I for idiot like me, and A for A. So that's that. We'll just take this out of the pot. You can see on the bottom it's got roots coming out of the pot, so this needs planting on anyway. So there are all sorts of ways you can get that out of the pot. I tend just to squeeze the pot and then it will come out. Put that over there. So that's got quite a nice root ball on it. Now I could put a load of compost in, then dig a hole. So you could do that, or I'm just going to put that in first, and then put some soil around it. In clematis, you can actually put a little bit of soil up on its bottom of the stalk, which means sometimes clematis can die back, but if they've still got a little bit of stalk under the soil, they can regenerate. But they're such good value, some of these plants nowadays, you don't necessarily need to do that. So I'm just going to put some compost around it. I've got a metal obelisk to go up over this, but we'll do that afterwards. Well, actually, I might do it while you're here. At least then you know what it's going to look like. So, fermenting around the outside. That's looking a bit sorry for itself on its own. Hello, Sea Love. Good to see you here. Welcome to the channel. So, this in there is going to get, well, you can't see on the camera, but it's going to get as tall as me, if not taller. We're obviously going to have the bulbs coming around the... Oh, go away, Mr. Wasp. You see, this is brand new compost and there's bits of plastic in it. That's what I'm saying about the quality of compost. So that's in the centre. We've got the bulbs around it. Now what you could either do is you could put some summer bedding in round there as well. But behind you, we've got a load of leftover plants that we didn't put in the new flower bed that we've been doing for a few weeks, so we might as well do that. I'm going to put in some see what we got. We want some, let's see what's there. What does the root on that look like? So I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, that'll be okay. Now, because the clematis is going to be a long-term plant, we want some plants that are going to be long-term to go with them. So I'm looking at some perennial plants. This is going to test my knowledge, because this has got no labels on it. This was given to me as a birthday present. I have no idea what that is. Could be a zinnia, or yeah, it's difficult to say. So I'm just going to put these in the corners. I know what this one is. This is, I wouldn't know what variety, but that's some sort of Euchera. Whether I'm pronouncing it correctly or not, I don't know. So these will grow up, and I want them to cover sort of the top. And the reason why I haven't gone to the top with the compost is because I want to be able to water it and the water to stay in it. If you fill it to the top of compost, when you water it, the water quite often comes over the edge. I don't want that really. And also when you get some of the summer bulbs come up, because they'll grow up, it'll stop them flopping over so much if they've got something to lean against. So that's the reason behind that. Yeah, that's not sure what that is. That's another. They're all. I know they're all perennials, but put that in the other corner. Like so, and then I'll do this one. Now I think I know what that is, but what the heck is its name? I've got some down there. Oh, I don't know. It'll come back to me. As soon as I'm finished, it'll come back to me what that is. If anyone knows what that is. Could be scabious. I don't think it is. I think it's something else. Then that's really irritating. I know where it is in the flower bed down there. So that's basically that. So that'll be that. Just check on the comments. Yeah, I'll just see what. Again, apologies if I've missed anything. I know one thing for sure, that I'm starting to feel the back a little bit, so I'm not going to do another pot, but I'll finish this one off first. Because I want to water everything in the greenhouse as well, which I can do off stream, but again, because it's all going to need watering again. It shows how dry. I mean, the greenhouse is now up to 37.4 in the sun, so you can see the temperature's actually gone up since we started. Let's move that down there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create an obelisk for this. Have all the bits to do this. So the one behind you is done like this. Now you can get, I was going to build some wooden ones, but they're a bit overkill for the clematis, because the clematis is a fairly fine grain plant. So you'd see more wooden obelisk than that. So this has metal uprights and plastic rings that go around it. So we'll do that, and then that one's finished, and that can be put in position and watered as well. There's an awful lot of plants still to do. I haven't done the roses either, but they're already in a pot in soil anyway, so they can wait for another day. But yeah, so it's basically a kit form, kit form obelisk. Again, when I'm finished, I'll try to remember to put a link in the description because it has when we go live, it has a generic description. But I'll go back and update it, and I'll try to put the link in for this, for all the things I've used, so you can go and have a closer look and look it up. And basically, they just clip together, push together. I don't think this isn't the greatest obelisk, but you can pay a fortune for them. It's only got one clematis growing up, so basically got a frisbee, an empty frisbee, and then it's got the stakes. These are the ones with the pointy ends on them. Try to get fairly central. The clematis site isn't going to be bothered whether it's central or not, but that could go quite deep because you want it fairly tight. There you go. So that's the start of it. And basically it's a jigsaw. Next one goes in there and then these rods connect through to the top of the bottom rod. Simple as that. Yeah, I was a bit. It's pretty cheap. It's just off Amazon, but it's fairly cheap. I did look at getting proper metal ones, but the price is just silly. So they just click together like that to make the ring. That's the ring, and then that goes onto there. I don't know how far you have, what you can actually see at the moment, whether you can see what I'm actually doing. No, you can't. Hang on, I'm just going to move you. Just going to tilt the camera up a little bit so you can actually see what we're doing as we go up. But it's quite nice where you're sat in the shade. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, so that's the second level there, just done. I would say I'd finish it off stream, but I might as well just plod along and finish this. I did manage to trap my finger in one in there the other day, which hurt. But I'll just make this ring while I'm looking at the chat. Anyone who was here on Sunday and got a plant label, I haven't written them up yet. Hopefully I'll do that before next weekend. We've got loads more plant labels which we can dish out again on Sunday. I haven't got my list with me today. So it's next layer on. And these, I don't think I've shown you that, but those like they've got little ridges on them for the plant to grip onto. And then they've got the clear metal which goes through the plastic there. So this one goes through there and then into the top of this one here. And we're already up to head height. And bear in mind I'm at least 6 foot. Thanks for being, thanks for your 1 month membership, milestone Nova. Yeah, for anyone new, we've got memberships over on YouTube at the lowest possible price, and over on Twitch we've got the subs if you want the ad-free viewing basically. there are some remotes on both of them. We've also got, anyone new coming in, we've also got a few bits of merchandise appearing. Oh, you can't see that. Hang on. So we've got a few bits of merchandise appearing. Links will be various places, you'll find them, but the easiest place for the time being is if you go to our website, which is simply bareandthegarden.com. You'll find at the end there, there's on the website, there's a link to the store. There's actually 2 stores. They've got slightly different pricing, and they've got different delivery rates and costings and delivery time scales. So if you're interested in something, just have a look and see which platform's better for you. And then they do everything for me, apart from we design the stuff, and then they produce it, send it, do all the billing, do the customer service. So it's quite good for that, and we get paid a small commission for it. And I've kept the commissions down as much as I can. Now I think, oh, you're back with sound. Yeah, I'm glad it's your end, Beauty, not mine end. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're finishing off this. So yeah, so we've got that. Also on in the descriptions, you'll start seeing Amazon links as well to some of the stuff that we're doing. So if you're wondering what we've been using, I'm trying to find links for it so you can actually see. But they will tend to go on after the streams, because obviously when I start streaming, I don't quite know what I'm going to be doing. That doesn't sound right, really, does it? But this is the last of the rings. So it's going to go on top. Not that you can see what I'm doing. On the top. On the top. On the top. On the top. Yep. And then the yeah, now this is a very good point. Okay. It's got to be in here somewhere. Right, okay. What's this in there? Oh yeah, found it. There is logic to the madness. Yeah, I was just trying to find there's a top piece, but I couldn't see where it was, but I found it now. I can't remember what that's called, a finial or something. But basically, the top bits of these curves, that's what makes the top of the arch. Wrong way. This is where I trapped my finger the other day. Tried to learn by the mistakes. So that's, pretend that didn't happen. So that's the top piece, which I'm going to put on. And that just slots in like all the others. In theory. Oh yes, I remember that. I remember what we did with this one. Yeah, okay. That's it. There's a very noisy sparrow. So that's that. I'll just take you off the tripod and show you what we've done. So yeah, so that's what we've got at the bottom, and then stand back without falling over. I'll try to pan up. So this is the top. So and then obviously the greenhouse in the back. So that's one of the troughs, one of the pots I wanted to do. As you can see across here, this is all the extra plants we've got to plant up. So there's an awful lot there still to do. Just go back and check. Any questions about that? Oh yeah, we're in an ad break. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a little tire. I'll show you the other one in a sec when they come back off their ads. And then I'll do a little tour of the gardens. It's a sunny day. Yeah. I assume we're back off the ads anyway. I think you may have missed all that while we're in the ads. Thanks for watching the ads if you had to watch them on Twitch. Right, we'll do a quick wander around the garden. Be slightly patient because I can't see the chats as we're wandering around. I will put the phone on because then at least I can check that the stream is still running. I think we resolved the issue of while we were losing signal before. I think that was a cable issue. Might be a bit of feedback here as I go on to there. God, it's really bright as well. Entertaining seeing this. So yeah, so I'm going to take you off the tripod. Apologies for anyone who's seasick. Yep, okay. Have we frozen? I think we may have frozen. I think we've frozen. Oh no, we haven't. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it looks like we've frozen. Assuming you can still hear me. I don't know, it's something's very odd with this software. Let's pull that up. It looks to me like it has frozen. You can hear me, but it's frozen. The picture's frozen. Similar to what we had the other day, which I thought it was the cable, but it's obviously not. So I'm just going to restart the camera. So you may go black for a moment and then come back. Yeah, right, you're back now. Got absolutely no idea why. But you're working now anyway, so. Right, you're in the greenhouse. Back. We'll go for a little wander. Ignore all the mess as we come out. So what was I saying? So this is what we've just done. With the obelisk going up. Yeah, and then we've got a whole load more plants. These are all perennial plants there. We'll come over. We've got the onions and garlic bags. Got the strawberries, they need watering. Then we come over here. This is the clematis. This is a clematis here. Don't know the name because I don't put labels on stuff, as we know. This has got a really deep, almost purple flower on it. Thanks for dropping in, D-Mom. I'll bring you over to here. This is here. I can hold the camera still. That's better. Those are baby pears. So you can see the old flower heads on the top, and then the bulging bit behind is the actual pear starting to form. The apples, we'll possibly be able to see that in about a week or so, but there's loads and loads of pears on that. It's interesting, all sorts of stuff starting to come out that you haven't seen. All sorts of stuff. I'm going to reverse down the garden as far as the cable will allow me before, and hopefully we don't get disconnected. And then we'll work our way back. Yep. Hello. Oh, sorry about that. That was operator. Thanks, Wheelchair Willie, for dropping in. Sorry about that. That was operator error. I managed to pull the cable out. So we'll have another go at that. Okay. Probably towards the. Yeah. Right. So I forgot the phone, so I can see what you've seen, but I can just see on the camera. So this is the new flower bed that we've done in recent weeks. This all needs watering, but I won't water it in the sun. I'll probably water that tomorrow morning. So there's lots of stuff in here. Lots of little buds starting to appear on stuff. Acroledias there, eucharis. The flowers for the fuchsias are coming out. Some of these poppies that were flowering at the weekend, they're going over. Most of the tulips are basically finished. Nice pansy flowers there. Some nice albrecia. Anyone that's new to us, it's a sort of cottage style garden. There's sort of mass planting, taller stuff at the back, shorter in the front. And it's just a mix of colours, flowers, and there's things that come out at different times of year. Those are foxgloves. Phototia, which is the red robins. And it's amazing really, if you go back and have a look at some of the live streams or doing the garden tours about even just a month ago, there was so much empty soil and so on. These are the pots we did on stream as well about a month ago. It's incredible. We had such a wet beginning of this year, and really it hasn't rained here. We've had the odd little shower, but it hasn't rained here for about 3 weeks now. I mean, if I show you some of the soil, it's getting quite dry, it is. So I'm not watering every day. I'm watering probably every 2 or 3 days really at the moment. So this is Clematis montana. This side doesn't show it off to its best really. If I bring you around the other side, you see how many more plants we've still got to do. I'm just going to back up over here. So I go up there. Just a mass of flowers there. That was a clematis that I actually dug up from a previous house and brought here. It's quite incredible really. If I'm moving closer. So that's as good as it's flowered in years here. Quite incredible. I'll put you back on the tripod. I'm less likely to disconnect you. Hopefully that's worked all the way down. I've got no idea whether it is still working. Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah. Well, that was more luck than judgment. So what I've determined from that is that what I thought was what I thought was a USB cable issue obviously isn't, because that's on a different camera on a different USB cable. So it indicates it's more likely to be software. So, but there you go. But we've done 2 hours 22 minutes. I think I'm in need of some refreshment and some food. I need to water everything before I pack up anyway. So going forward, we'll have there's content on YouTube every day, shorts every day. There's a new series of calming videos on Saturday morning on YouTube. There's a premiere on Saturday night or Saturday evening. the premiere this week is some poetry for you. It's a poetry reading about April. It was a bit of fun to do. Hope you enjoy watching that. There's content on all the other platforms. We'll be back live. I don't see us being, unless the blackbirds move in, and then there might be some short blackbird streams. I don't see us being live until Sunday now, so we'll be back about 11ish UK time on Sunday. We're live streaming YouTube, Twitch. I'll update the descriptions on both YouTube and Twitch with what I've been using today, sometime this evening. So if you're interested in anything, you want to see what we've been planting, you'll be able to actually see the names and do a bit of research yourself. There's also, if you're interested in any of our really excellent merch, there's not a lot on there. There's a mug and a few t-shirts at the moment, which is all I was making for the family initially, but we'll add some other stuff as we go. You can have a look. The easiest place to do that is through the website. If you're still here, Lone, if you could put exclamation website in both the chats, that'll pull up the website. It's just bareinthegarden.com. So that's also a good place if you want to look at any of the social media channels we've got. That will take you to those. That the website hasn't had much done to it for a few months, but I'm slowly updating it. Thanks for everyone who's here. Thanks for dropping in, Nova. I've just I don't know if Lone can hear me. I'll put it to myself. Assuming I've spelled it right. It's very difficult when it's so sunny. It's very difficult to actually see what's on screen or actually see where the mouse is. Oh yeah, Lone's done it. I've done it over on YouTube for you, Lone, so you don't have to do it there. Yeah, so that's a good starting place for everything. Thanks for everyone who's donated bits, or thanks Nova for the gift subs. Thanks to all the members on YouTube, the subscribers on Twitch. Thanks for everyone who's been watching. I'll say a few personal thank yous as I go back through the chats. I'll start on YouTube. Beauty Love Creative, Mary, Christian, Chris Bikes was here. Ollie, D. Michael, Dave Bangermain, Okie Dokie, Victoria, Gerard, Gigi, Karen. I know there's a lot more than that. It's a bit difficult to go back through the names on there. See who's in the chat over on Twitch and see who's over on there. Thanks to Dem and Leo for popping in. Chris was over there. Sea Love, D-Bomb, Dure, Healy's. I see he's been lurking. There's a lot of people been lurking. Thanks for everyone who's lurking as well. We're quite happy with people lurking. If you want to ask questions in the chat or just have a chinwag with some people, that's fine. But lurking's fine as well. Only me's there. Good to see you, Only Me, as well. So we'll be back Sunday. What I'll do is I'll raid Twitch out somewhere. I think you've got a pretty good idea where, just out of courtesy and good protocol. And thank you for everyone who's been watching, and thank you to the mods. Thanks to Leo and Dem who were here early on. Special thanks today to Lone, who's been on both platforms and done a sterling job keeping chat informed as to what we're trying to do. Done an excellent job. So round of applause for Lone. Oh, thanks, Keir. I say we'll be back on Sunday about 11 UK time, and we usually do sort of 2.5 hour stream on a Sunday lunchtime. I'm just trying to see who's on to stay with the, I think we should stay with the sort of gardening theme, as we might as well take advantage of being outside while the weather's semi-decent. I think I know where we're going to go and raid. See if they're actually outside where I think they are. Yep, yeah, they are. So we're going to go over to a friend of the channel who's the other side of the Atlantic, who's also in their garden. So I'll raid us over there. Anyone in the chat who comes over on the raid, thanks for joining the raid. Say hello, let them know where you've come from, and enjoy looking at their vegetable garden. They're growing vegetables, and I'll probably see you over there shortly. And thanks for everyone on YouTube, and I'll see everyone hopefully on Sunday. Take care.